Todd Howard has done it again. Instead of re-releasing Skyrim for the 8th time, he went back to Oblivion and said, you know what? I like that one. Let's do that again.
These are the closing days of the Third Era and the final hours of my life.
Oh! Oh my god! Oh! Oh my fucking god! Oh! Oh!
Yes! Yes! I'm home! I'm alive! This is all a miracle! I'm awake! I'm wide awake!
The Oblivion Remastered just came out. I put about 10 hours into it, and this is as close to perfection as a remaster can be. I've never been more happy to say I was wrong about something. You see, a few days ago, I recorded a video titled, Why Oblivion Can't Be Remade. And in it, I was gonna talk about how it's just not possible to recreate this same type of magic in a remaster or a remake.
I can't speak to you right now.
I don't know how you would do that, but all I know is that it's just not possible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's more than just possible. It is reality. So I thought it would be interesting to go through what I say prior to the Oblivion Remaster coming out and see just what I was smoking only 4 days ago. New fentanyl just dropped, bro. It's lethal. Just to avoid confusion, I'll put a picture of the adoring fan up on the old commentary I recorded where I was wrong. I'm just gonna come out and say it, folks. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion can't be remade. You cannot capture lightning in a bottle twice. If you win the lottery, you're not winning it again. And before you push your glasses up the brim of your nose and say, Actman, you can remake Oblivion because that's what they're doing. You can... Yes, I know this game literally can be remade, but I don't think it's possible to recapture everything that made Oblivion what it was. And what it was is one of the funniest video games ever made.
Yes, we must kill that foul Nord before he slits our throats.
What? Go.
So many people dead. I just don't know who to trust.
I could sit here for the next 3 hours just playing clip after clip of hilarious, unfiltered Oblivion moments that just happen naturally.
I hate my life.
Oblivion's goofy-ass AI is capable of cooking up the most unintentionally comedic genius moments you've ever seen.
Stop! You violated the law. Then pay with your blood!
I have literally spent days of my life watching the AI in this game in clips on YouTube like a scientist observing a newly discovered species. And yes, I haven't felt the touch of a woman in years, but I don't need to. That's gay. You can't remake Oblivion in the same way that not even Tommy Wiseau could recreate the magic of the room. See, look at how wrong I am. This statement aged like pure milk. You can't recreate the magic of the room? Well, that's exactly what Bethesda and Virtuous have done.
Break the law on my watch, will you? I'll be confiscating your stolen goods.
I had honestly thought with everything Bethesda had been going through the last decade, between Starfield being a disappointment, Fallout 76 being a disaster, not hearing or seeing anything new about Elder Scrolls 6 for 6 years. I'll be honest, I thought Bethesda was kind of cooked. But imagine my surprise when I'm not even out of the tutorial and I'm encountering some classic Oblivion jank.
I accept your surrender. I accept
yield.
your surrender.
What do you mean you accept?
I'll let you live this time, Kirk.
Did you hear the fucking... You never know what the fuck is gonna happen in the crazy world of Oblivion. This video is sponsored by Once Human. This popular PC title has just dropped onto mobile devices, and with over 125,000 reviews, Once Human has earned its mostly positive reception. A free-to-play open-world experience set in a grotesque post-apocalyptic world. Enjoy PvE or PvP combat as you explore the world for treasure, weapon blueprints, and of course, better gear. Improve not only your skills, but your equipment so you can tackle tougher and tougher bosses. And just look at these production values. The world of Once Human is gorgeous and stunning. The game might be free to play, but I'd pay for these views. And sorry to the whales, but you can't pay to win, because any and all purchases are cosmetic only. Once Human has this revolutionary concept of playing the game to get stronger and better at it. If you enjoy this sort of Lovecraftian aesthetic and open world survival games, then Once Human is the game for you. Download and play it for free using the link in the description, and if you do, I'll hook you up with some exclusive rewards to get your journey started. Thank you, Once Human, for sponsoring this video.
And now for something completely different.
You see, movies like The Room or Samurai Cop, games like Smash Bros. Melee, Halo 2, and Oblivion are created in part by what I like to call happy accidents. Imagine if a new FPS title tried to recreate the BXR and button combos from Halo 2. You just can't. It'd be a cheap imitation. It's not possible. Even if Nintendo wanted to, and make no mistake, they fucking don't, it'd be impossible for them to make a new Smash Brothers with the same movement, wave dashing, exploits, and movement tech of Melee. Happy accidents are what they are, and attempting to recreate them is impossible because they were accidents. Such is Oblivion. It's remarkable how wrong one man can be. What they've managed to do with this remaster is so bizarre that I didn't even really consider that they could pull it off. It's branded as a remaster because it's running on the same engine. The one with the hilarious Radiant AI.
What's the news from the other parts of Tamriel?
Take care.
Take care.
Greetings to you.
And I don't even fully understand how this works, but Oblivion Remaster is also running on like Unreal Engine 5, but just for the visuals, graphics, and texture models. Programmers in chat, how the fuck does that work? How can two engines run a single game at the same time? This is the perfect way to handle the Oblivion Remaster because they get the best of both worlds. They can modernize the visuals while keeping the gameplay and the NPC behavior mostly the same.
I think when it comes to a remaster, we want people to feel the way they did then, but it's still a game of its time. You want to keep those bones in place. You want some of that old charm.
We're here to help. Farewell, citizen.
We've seen remakes and remasters take a few too many creative liberties, and that's a really hard balance to strike when you're trying to please an existing fan base, but also modernize an old classic so it can appeal to newer, younger generations. But judging from the leaked screenshots, it seems Oblivion Remastered is going to be on a totally new engine. And as any computer programmer will tell you in the comments down below, well, it's incredibly easy to simply copy a game from one engine and paste it into another engine. That's how it works, right? The engine in my 95 Honda Civic could power pretty much any Bugatti or Ferrari. One has to ask the question, if you're remaking Oblivion, how do you recapture that same level of comedy? Is it even possible? Do you even attempt to? If it's on a completely different engine, then how the fuck does that work? You would have to retool everything and reprogram the jank. So like in a literal sense, on a brand new engine, Oblivion can't be remade. This, I feel, is still a true statement. Oblivion could not have been remade on a new engine, and that's why they didn't. I honestly didn't expect Bethesda and Virtuous to have such a deep understanding of why Oblivion is so great, but they must have been asking these questions behind the scenes when they were developing it. But the solution they came up with is perfect. It's easier to create a fucking monstrosity than it is to make a character that looks somewhat normal. And how would that even work? If they're making a new Oblivion, you wouldn't want the character creator to look like fucking dog shit, right? But that's also part of the charm. How are you gonna recreate this character creator? Like this? Jesus. The new character creator is yet another example of something I didn't expect them to pull off. Here, do you want to see my face?
Oh my.
No, you don't want to see his face.
He's.
Look, he's
it's
always
face,
smiling.
It's a face a mother should have swallowed.
It is an improvement over the original because not only can you create the horrific monstrosities that we all know and love, you can actually create characters that look like real humans. In Oblivion, this fucking cat, like look at the teeth, but the detail is so good. But then you also have like look at Mehrunes Dagon. Holy shit. Bethesda was on such a different plane of existence that they included bad takes of dialogue in the final game.
I heard that thieves broke into the Arcane University, the Imperial Legion compound, and the temple all on the same night. Wait a minute, let me do that one again. I heard that thieves broke into the Arcane University.
They thought of everything because these fucked up lines are in the remaster.
Wait a minute, let me do that one again. I heard that thieves broke into the Arcane University.
They know, bro, they know. Now here's another point. Remakes are extremely popular these days. What with Dead Space, Final Fantasy VII, Resident Evil 4, they got fucking Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Remakes are hotter than Sabrina Carpenter right now. And you have to approach this from the business perspective, right? Most gamers who have already played Oblivion would want to play a remake that makes Oblivion feel brand new. I don't know if you've played an Elder Scrolls game or a Bethesda title, but most fans tend to put like hundreds of hours into that shit. And once you do that, like you've seen everything the game has to offer. So some slight graphical update, like what Oblivion fan is really gonna give a shit? Yet another thing I was incorrect about. And this is why it's so important that they made genuine improvements to the combat. Whereas in the original, you would just kind of slice at people and they wouldn't really react all that often. But now they have new jank where you hit someone and they... And although it's like funny and cartoony, it makes your weapons feel like they have real impact. They've also changed a lot of the attack combinations. Like I just discovered there's like a 3-hit attack with this sword. This not only allows old players like myself to feel like the game is fresh and new, but it feels like a new Elder Scrolls for people who haven't played Oblivion. And they also redid pretty much every animation. So the game feels different, but also familiar. It plays like a brand new title, but also something really old and outdated. Nostalgia alone is not going to sell people on a game that they've never played. Man, how bad do those Gen Z kids have it though? These poor bastards didn't grow up with a real childhood. They didn't grow up with Oblivion. And now they can. Now they can grow up with Oblivion. That's the thing, regardless of my nostalgia for Oblivion, it's pretty obvious that people nowadays probably aren't going to be as interested in playing a game, you know, where the characters look like their faces have been burned. Like they've never put on sunscreen in their life and they just live outside homeless. Oblivion has the type of video game jank that is somehow entirely predictable, but totally chaotic at the same time. Some of the funniest Oblivion clips you'll see online come from people who understand how the AI works and therefore how to exploit it.
Maybe feet. Are you confused?
This is the type of shit I'm talking about when I say you can't remake Oblivion, at least not in the way that it was. You can't deliver on this type of unintentional comedy. It's so Jover for me. I've never been more wrong. People are literally remaking viral clips. Like Bacon, one of my favorite channels, and also Elder Mur. If you love this type of Oblivion sense of humor, check these guys out and make sure you subscribe to them. Not to mention, how the fuck are they gonna handle the voice acting, right? If this is a remake, you know, voice actors aren't something you can just easily replace. And it turns out They didn't replace voice actors. They added a few new ones.
Stop! You violated the law. Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit.
One of my favorite comments on an Oblivion video is, it was a bold decision for Bethesda to hire exactly 3 voice actors for this game.
Oh, hello. How are you today? I've been better. How about you? I've been better.
So far, they've only replaced the voices for some of the, kind of like throwaway NPCs, but they haven't replaced like Wes Johnson's performance of the Gray Fox or Lucien LeChance, or obviously Sheo Gorath. Every aspect of this remake is just the best of both worlds. I want things to change, but I also don't want things to change at all. Yeah, somehow they delivered on that incredibly unreasonable expectation of mine. Yeah, see, my big worry was that they would redo the voice acting, which would kill a lot of the enjoyment.
But it's only a matter of time before they're overwhelmed. Run while you can!
And they haven't. They've simply added on and diversified what was already there. Now, one thing that really separated Oblivion from a lot of other RPGs at the time was this thing called Radiant AI. Bethesda abandoned the Radiant AI when they made Skyrim. That's because what the Radiant AI did has been iterated and improved upon countless times in other games since Oblivion came out. So naturally, it just seems outdated as fuck by today's comparisons. I don't care what you say, I don't care how much you think Oblivion has aged poorly, Radiant AI has been one of the most revolutionary innovations in the entire RPG genre. The idea that NPCs will have their own internal schedule tied to the game's clock, the day and night cycle. I can think of one game that had a day and night cycle before Oblivion, and that's fucking Warcraft 3, a game where it barely mattered at all. But to design every single NPC in every city with this day and night cycle, create quests around that, have them wander throughout the city talking to people at random, that really made the world feel alive. And rather than trying to remake all of that, I think it's the right call to just, like I said, keep the same engine and keep, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I hate books.
The Oblivion Remaster / remake is essentially a fresh coat of paint on a classic muscle car. That car's never gonna go out of style. I really didn't expect them to return to the Radiant AI. I honestly thought they would create some brand new, inferior system of NPCs such that it wouldn't feel as alive as it used to. So, with a brand new engine, and if they're trying to appeal to a younger, more modern audience, which most remakes try to do, then I see no world in which Oblivion can truly be remade. I'm happy to live in that world. I can't tell you how impressed I really am by this remaster. And I am so happy that I have never been more wrong about something in my entire life. That's the most impressive thing about the remaster, is I honestly expected to have way more criticisms and complaints about super specific niche things that like me and only 6 other people care about, but they've nailed every detail. And the most important thing the Oblivion Remaster has done is make you feel like you played it brand new, the same way you did 19 years ago. That was the goal, that was the vision of Todd Howard and his team, and they delivered on it. Todd Howard, you have done it again. You have managed to sell more versions of your games than actual games themselves. I could not be happier with the Oblivion Remaster. I'm going to be streaming it soon. What are your thoughts and opinions on the Oblivion Remaster? And tell me what questline you're excited to play first. Gotta save the Dark Brotherhood, man. That shit's too good. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. And don't forget to download and play Once Human today for free. All right, everyone. That's all I got for today. This is the Act Man signing out. Peace.
You have the hands of a healer.